Hey everybody, welcome back to my basement shop. I'm going to do a flea market find segment today. Once again, not truly a flea market situation because of the time of year. Today is actually, it's like January 20th, but this is a pick from back on January 11th in Blackstone, Massachusetts. This was a Craigslist find. This was actually a series of ads that were up for quite a while on Craigslist, so I decided to make contact with the individual, find out what he had left. You know, lots of times people sell stuff and they're not good about taking down the ads. In this particular situation, he hadn't sold that much. His prices were a little high on some of the items. I think there were a couple items there that he was pretty firm on that I ended up not buying at all because there was no way I could even get close. And you know, I was kind of surprised. There were some things that he was a little more flexible on that I thought were good buys, and then there were some things that I was kind of just like, I'll give you an example. He had a set of SPI branded wavy parallels. I don't have a set of wavy parallels, so I would have been interested in those for myself. So I would be even willing to pay a little bit more than I normally do, just because it would be a keeper as opposed to looking for resale. But he had $60 on that set, and he wouldn't budge on that. And I was like, wow. I mean, I don't recall exactly what those go for, but they're not that pricey. So didn't make sense to me. And then there was a Starrett bevel vernier protractor in the case with the extra blade and the acute angle attachment. And I think he had like 160 on that, so I couldn't touch that. And then there was a Starrett like 3 or 4 inch long travel drop indicator. He wanted 150 for that. That was like in mint condition, so that wasn't too bad. But the fact that he was firm on it at 150, and the fact that I already have one and I can't go anywhere at 150 on resale, so that was a no-brainer. So those were like I think the only 3 items I can think of off the top of my head that I left there because it wasn't that they weren't good items, it was that the price was the issue. So let's dive right in. Total spend on this was about 320 bucks. Pretty decent haul. So this might be a multi-parter, I'm not sure. And again, like I said, this is a pick from January 11th. Today's like January 20th. And at the rate that I'm editing and getting things up, this thing's probably not going to air until February. Let's dive right in. Alright, so let's start off with the parallel sets that I did end up buying. Been doing good reselling these parallel sets. They've been pretty popular, but I gotta really buy them right. So I ended up getting these 2 sets for 30 bucks. So 15. I'm into these for 15 bucks a set. This is the traditional cheapo import plastic case, and these are in really nice clean shape. These are the thinner parallels, but they're in wicked good shape, and they've got the nice high visibility, almost like laser etching or silk screening or whatever on them there. So decent set. I didn't see any damage on them. Lots of times you have to look at both sides on these, because sometimes, usually if somebody makes an oopsie, it's a drill mark or whatever, an end mill mark on one side, and you get an unscrupulous, this gentleman was pretty straight, but an unscrupulous seller might actually put these in the bad side facing down to pass them off as okay when they've got an issue. These look like they've seen very little use. So we got a 10 pair set, so you get 20 parallels total in there, generic. And then this set, this is a nice little set here. I might keep this set for myself. This has got the thicker, chunkier style parallels. Again, probably import, no markings on them, just the cheap wooden box that they tend to slap together in for a lot of this Asian import stuff. There's a little bit of, tiny bit of surface rust on there, but nothing. Actually, it's not even surface rust. I think that's, you know what that is? This foam's got cancer. This foam is starting to deteriorate. That's a nice little set there. I might keep that one. I don't know. I haven't decided. He had this box of random precision screwdrivers. It's actually a Starrett box, believe it or not, for a number 56B surface gauge, which it's a shame that I'm getting this now because I think I just sold a 56 surface gauge. But anyways, and we're going to talk a little bit more about boxes at the end of this segment, but these are kind of interesting little precision screwdrivers. They're all in pretty good shape. So he saw me messing around with these. These are all in metric units. I don't see the maker's name on them. So these have the swivel top to make it so that when this is palmed, to make it easier to twirl them in your hand like that without this rubbing in your hand, which a lot of the precision screwdrivers, the better ones, have that. So these look like pretty cheapies, and I was about to put them back, and then he said, well, he says, I'll tell you what, he said, you can have all of the screwdrivers for $5, and that included this little Weehaw set, which I've never seen this style Weehaws. So look at those. So I don't know if this is missing a bunch or what. But they're calling these micro finish handle, 50% more force with micro finish grip. So there's 4 in there, and they're double-ended. And just to be complete, I mean, it was literally every precision or jeweler's screwdriver that was there went. These are the classic, real cheapy ones, and even these have the little swiveling tops. And then this box, which has quite a few Weehaws in it. These are the, see these swivel. These are the ones that I like. Another one of those weird no-namers. So 7 of the Weehaws that I like, and then 6 of these, which are branded Blue Hawk. So I think those might be cheapies also. But I mean, $5 for that whole pile, that's a pretty good deal. And if I get another Starrett 56 surface gauge, I'll have a box for it. Another one of these stacking gauge block sets, okay, that they have the threaded holes inside the little round gauge blocks that these little grub screws go in order to facilitate being able to attach these together. What's nice about this set is it's 100% complete. Not a big dollar set. It's an import, unmarked, no names on it. Each gauge is marked with its height. That's it. I paid $20 for this set. I'll look at my set and figure out which one I'll keep. I think mine's in a wooden case. I don't remember. He had a whole bunch of indicator attachments sitting there in a pile, and he had on his Craigslist ad, he actually just had a whole picture of the whole pile, and he said, you know, they go from $5 to $30 a piece. And I was trying to figure out from the pile, what was he thinking was worth the $30 or whatever. So I got there, I looked through the whole pile, and I singled out these 3 items here, and it was difficult to haggle him down on these, but I finally got him to acquiesce to taking, I believe it was 15 or 20. I think I finally ended up getting him to agree to taking 15 for these, and I got him to throw in this big old clamp that was sitting there. This is I think it's plastic, but it's like a sturdy plastic handle, and it's big, and it's very reminiscent to me of what was on like one of my Brown and Sharps or something. One of my big indicator stands. Matter of fact, I happen to have my Doghouse Brown and Sharp sitting right here, and that's exactly what it is. So unfortunately, the indicator stand was nowhere to be found. And actually, this is marked Gem Instrument Brunswick. So I guess maybe it didn't come off of Brown and Sharp, and it's just a the same clamp. That actually made me curious to see what the Brown and Sharp one was marked, but it's not. And then these three indicator holder arms, which are nice. This one is reminiscent of what you find in the Starrett or Best Test cases. I like them apples. I got hosed on that one. That's broken. I wondered why as soon as I just turned this, it loosened right up. You see how it's fastened? You could see the broken off end right there. So in other words, it should have had two flanges that stuck out, and they're broken off. But that's okay, because these are the two that I really wanted, because this one with the dovetail mount on it is marked Alina. So I know this is for a Swiss made indicator and an Alina indicator. That's a nice one. And this one is just marked Swiss made. It's also a dovetail clamp. So again, good holder for a Swiss made indicator like a Compact, Alina, Interrapid, Tessa. I got this funky light. This is called a conductor light. I got this for $5. I have no idea how much these cost new or what their value is, but what this has got, this is basically, it's a pen light, okay? When the batteries are in there, oh, it's actually got still battery in it. I forgot. So this is just a simple pen light, right? But it comes with all these attachments. So you can do, for instance, it's got these attachments that allow you to basically stick this in there like that, right? And now what it does is it actually gives you the ability to get down into an angle and make that light go in a different direction. And then there's these pieces here. Alright, so that goes in there like that. Alright, there we go. And now if you want to look down inside a hard to reach area and look at the back side of something down inside a hard to reach area, you've got these little inspection mirrors. They're almost like dental mirrors. Okay. So for those of you guys who have never seen one of these before, if you're like me and never saw one of these before and think, hey, that would be a really handy thing to have around my shop, just Google conductor light, and I'm sure you could probably find one. So it comes with a couple of different sized inspection mirrors and a curved, it's almost like a fiber optic piece. Short straight one, a curved one, two long ones. This long one actually has a solid metal plug on the end. I don't know what the hell you do with that. Anyways, conductor light. Just thought it'd be a handy thing to have, so gave him $5 for it. Hey, how about that? This is actually still in the Pen Tool catalog. There was two versions. There's the A kit and the B kit. The A kit is a 5-piece kit and it's $36.95, and the B kit, which is what this is, a 7-piece kit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-piece kit, is $49.95. So this little thing costs $50 new, and I got it for $5. Cool deal. I just wonder if that's something exclusive. It's only coming up on seems to only be coming up on, no, actually this Jensen Tool has it. There's a used one on eBay. So that's the kind of thing I was curious if it would come up on Amazon, because that would be like, oh, probably the, oh, look at this one. Is that used? No, that's a new one. It's funny, they're saying that's a new one for $40, but it's got 6 pieces. It's missing the other mirror right here. Huh. Well, anyways, you get the gist. Cool little kit. Yeah, a little random box of junk sitting there, and I was fishing through it. I commented about how this was a neat little wrench, and I put it back, and then, you know, I don't know, whatever. And I forgot where this was, but later on, when he saw me messing with the box again, he said, I tell you what, you can have the entire contents of that box, I think, for like 15 bucks or 20 bucks. And I was like, no, I said, it's funny. I said, I was going to offer you 10. And he's like, nah. He figured there was more value there. And I was looking at it, and I was like, there was a bunch of stuff in there I had no interest in. So I said, I tell you what I'll do. I give you $5 for these 3 pieces. And he agreed to that. And what we've got is we've got a homemade or shop made Bell center finding tool. Okay, so this is again one of these deals. I just had one of these recently, I believe. So say you get a piece of stock like that and you want to just get a center punch hole on the end there. You put this right on there and you try and keep this in the same plane as this vertical. Wow, you know what I mean, right? Bang it. So it's not the most accurate tool, because if you're off, the more you're off this, I'm exaggerating, but obviously if I'm way off this way, the center is gonna be out of whack. So it's a crude, quick tool if you're doing something that doesn't require huge precision. This is a 1/4 inch drive, socket drive. Okay, it's one of these little knob deals here. I don't have one of these, so I don't see a name on it. I'm sure it's just a cheapo, but I just wanted it because I don't have one. And then this wrench intrigued me. Kind of a neat looking wrench, right? Cast metal by the looks of it. Oh, this is actually a cool little collectible for somebody. This is a Billings and Spencer number 97 of Hartford, Connecticut. Okay, this has got a patent date on the back here of, it looks like September 29th, 1896. So that's a surprise. That is not what I expected at all to find this wrench to be. Well, that might be a honey for the money. Oh yeah, bingo. This is Collectors Weekly. They did a little article on this wrench. It's a Billings and Spencer number 97 bicycle wrench. So that's why it's so little. It's a little compact wrench so you can keep it in your pocket or whatever, and you're out on your bicycle for that bicycle emergency. It was patented 1896, and it was manufactured with markings the way this is marked, with the patent date and Billings and Spencer CO, up until 1915. So that means this wrench is at least 100. This wrench is over 100 years old. Apparently they continued to manufacture it after 1915, but they changed the marking so it would say the Billings and Spencer Company. So I feel confident that this is an earlier one. So 4 have sold on eBay. This one is $25 with free shipping. That's the highest. And we got one for $15 with $7 shipping, so you call that 22. And $12.50, 5 shipping, $17.50. Here's one sold for $10, for $3.88 shipping, call it $14. And another one $15. So the prices, there's quite a variation there, but I'm looking at these ones down here, and condition looks like that played into it here. This one and this one look the most like mine, and actually this one here, I'm willing to bet that what probably differentiates price on these is the markings to indicate whether or not this is a pre-1915 or not. So for you pickers who watch my channel and you're on the lookout for one of these, this is what it looked like after 1915. Notice it says the Billings and Spencer, and the number 97 is actually before, which is actually an improvement on labeling, because I noticed that when this wrench is closed up, the jaws are closed up, you can't see the number 97. If I hadn't opened it up, I wouldn't even notice that. All right. So this post 1915 one is the one that sold for $15. The one that sold for 25 is the pre 1915 one. And when I look at those pictures up close, I could see that it's been heavily cleaned, and it was not in as good a shape as mine. This appears to have some sort of plating on it. You see it shining? This appears to be completely devoid of plating, or it's just so scratched up. Enough about the wrench already, Steve. Would you move on?